Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to break down something that's all around us, shaping our digital lives every single day. User experience design. You've probably heard it called UX, and we're going to dive deep into what it really is.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been on a website, maybe trying to buy something or find some info, and it just feels like a total maze? You're clicking everywhere, getting more and more frustrated, and you just can't find what you need? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, that feeling, whether it's that intense frustration or, on the flip side, the pure delight you get from an app that just works perfectly, that is the absolute heart of user experience design. It's like this invisible force that guides you, making technology feel simple, intuitive, and, actually enjoyable to use.
So let's get right into it and put a real definition to this. What exactly is UX design? Okay, in simple terms, UX design is the whole process of making a user's journey with a product awesome. And I mean the entire journey, from the very first time they even hear about your app to downloading it, opening it for the first time, and using it day after day. The goal is to make that whole ride as smooth, logical, and satisfying as possible. It's really part art, part science. And this is so much bigger than just websites. UX is literally everywhere. It's in every mobile app on your phone, it's in the software you use for work, and it's even in physical things that have a digital side to them, like a smartwatch or the infotainment system in your car. All right, let's tackle the big one. This is probably the most common mix-up in the entire design world. What is the difference between UX and its close cousin, UI? Think of it like this. UX is the big picture. It's the overall feeling and the flow. It answers the questions why and how. UI, which stands for user interface, is all about the details. It's the what. So UX involves all the behind-the-scenes strategy, the user research, the testing, figuring out the user's needs. UI is what you actually see and touch, the buttons, the colors, the typography. You absolutely need both to work together to make a great product. One without the other just doesn't work. So, who are the people making all this happen? Let's take a look at the actual role of a UX designer. I love this analogy because it's just so perfect. If a digital product is like a house, the UX designer is the architect. They're not the interior decorator picking out the paint colors. That's more like UI. They're the ones drawing up the blueprint, making sure the hallways connect logically, that the rooms are functional, and that the whole house is actually a great place to live in. And their day-to-day job is super diverse. It's a constant cycle. They start with research to really understand what people actually need. Then they organize all that information in a logical way. After that, they build wireframes and prototypes, which are basically early sketches and models of the product. And then they put those designs in front of real users to see how they react. Based on that feedback, they improve it, and the cycle starts all over again. And the skills you need for this are such a cool mix. Of course, you need those technical skills, like knowing how to do research and build prototypes. But honestly, the soft skills are just as important, if not more. Empathy, the ability to genuinely put yourself in the user's shoes, is probably number one. But right up there are teamwork, creative problem solving, and really just being curious. Now, you might be thinking this all sounds a little chaotic, but great design doesn't just happen randomly. It follows a very clear, structured process. So let's walk through the 5 main stages of UX design. So first, you have to define the problem. What are we actually trying to solve for someone? Then comes the deep dive into research to truly understand the people you're designing for. Next, designers build prototypes to make their ideas tangible. Stage 4 is maybe the most fun. You test those prototypes with real people and just watch and learn. And finally, the most important step, you take all that feedback and you iterate. You refine the design, making it better and better. And that's really the key thing to remember. This process is a loop, not a straight line. It's a continuous cycle. You never just launch something and say, okay, we're done. Great UX means you are always learning, always testing, and always improving based on what real people are doing. Okay, so what's guiding all these decisions in the design process? Well, it all comes down to a set of fundamental principles that really are the foundation of any great user experience. There are 7 of these core principles. Think of them as the rules of the road that guide designers toward creating something that people will love. Let's dig into a few of the big ones. The absolute number one, the golden rule, is being user-centric. Every single decision you make, from the biggest feature to the smallest button, has to be made with the user in mind.
I mean, look at Amazon. Their personalized recommendations, the one-click ordering, all of that is relentlessly focused on making the user's shopping experience as effortless as possible. Next up is consistency. This is huge. Users shouldn't have to relearn how to do things every time they open your product or switch devices. Apple is the absolute master of this. The way you interact with an iPhone feels so familiar when you pick up an iPad or sit down at a Mac. That seamless, predictable experience builds trust and makes technology feel easy.
Now this one is so powerful, user control. Great design makes the user feel like they're in charge. My favorite example is Gmail's undo send feature. How amazing is that? It's a safety net. It gives you control over your mistakes, and that feeling reduces anxiety and makes you trust the product more.
And this one is non-negotiable, accessibility. This is all about designing products that can be used by everyone, regardless of their abilities. We're talking about things like having high-contrast text for people with low vision, or ensuring a website works perfectly with a screen reader. This isn't just a nice-to-have. It's absolutely essential to creating truly great, inclusive products.
So let's just do a quick flyby of all 7. We have being user-centric, which is number 1. Then there's consistency, giving the user control, and designing for accessibility, which we just covered. The other 3 are creating a clear information hierarchy, ensuring overall usability, and always considering the user's context.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. UX design is about being deeply human-centered. It's the art of taking incredibly complex systems and technology and transforming them into experiences that are simple, enjoyable, and genuinely useful for real people. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Pick an app on your phone, one you absolutely love to use, and just ask yourself, why? What makes it so great? Is it super consistent? Does it give you a feeling of control? Now that you know the principles, you can start to see that invisible design magic that makes it all work. Thanks for tuning in.